Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is game between Guru and ShoWTimE on Frozen Temple. Alright, so in the bottom right side of the map, we have the red Protoss player. It is ShoWTimE. And in the top left of the map, we have the green Zerg player. It is Guru. So PvZ here for today on Frozen Temple from the DreamHack Open that was held a few days ago. And let's get right on into it. Frozen Temple is a pretty good map, I feel like. You have a nice, easy, natural. I'm sure the Protoss and Terran don't enjoy walling this off. But hey, ShoWTimE's walling it off already. We'll see how he does this for those of you who play Protoss, and hopefully you can mimic it. Guru is saving up for a hatch first play, which is very, very safe against Protoss, and ShoWTimE, as usual, is attempting to block it. ShoWTimE really uses his probes very well to frustrate Zerg whenever he plays against them. But hey, look at this. Guru just takes his expansion here. No big deal. And go ahead and let that finish, ShoWTimE. I will just kill it with Lings, and you will be out 100 minerals for basically no reason. There goes the pool. There goes the extractor. ShoWTimE sees the exact timing on that, sees there will not be any speedlings coming out anytime soon. And he does not need to rush to throw down that wall. So I think he's going to go for an expansion. Yep, saving up to exactly 400 minerals to get that expansion right on out. And there it is, perfectly placed. Look at that. Getting the pylon down and then throwing the Nexus right down next to it and knowing exactly where to put this thing so it's not blocking the Nexus is just incredible. And there goes the Cyber Core up next of all. And exactly one Adept or one Zealot will be able to hold this without any problems whatsoever. This pylon is placed perfectly so that Photon Overcharge can be used out here, but roaches cannot reach it from the outside. So, I mean, ShoWTimE is just so perfectly good at doing this. And look at this. Actually, still, he canceled his own pylon and then just stuck here with the probe, delaying this third base as long as possible. Guru is going up to 370, 380, 400 minerals before he can throw this hatch down. And there he goes. He does get it there. ShoWTimE doesn't want to lose the probe altogether. Yes, being annoying is nice, but losing the probe means he can't scout anymore. And that's exactly what he's going to be using it for now. Just running around all over the place, trying to see what other tech he can see. But guess what? There are now some Lings on the way for Guru. So this probe's days are numbered. Just trying to see if anything comes out here. Any Lings come out. He does see the drone transfer over to the natural base, which is fantastic. Great spot there. But the question is, what is ShoWTimE going for now that his Cybernetics core is done? He's getting Warp Gate Research. He's getting an Adept. And there it is. There's the Stargate. So Stargate opening, something, again, he is very much a fan of. Some slow Lings now chasing this probe away. Going to be able to kill it, I think, because it is already so low on health. It's going to take some time, unless this Adept can save it. And actually, one Adept is enough to take out two Lings especially. I'm not sure about 6 Lings, though. We'll have to see if that works out. A quick another pause there, which did get sorted out very easily. And there's a cancel on the Psionic transfer. The Adept now instead choosing to stay outside where it is safe, where she will not be murdered. That Stargate just about to finish for ShoWTimE. Going to Psionic transfer her way on up into the main base, and he is going to go ahead, or she is going to go ahead and spot the Evolution Chamber. So an early Evo Chamber right now from Guru. Is he going to go Drop Lord here? I mean, no, this Overlord is not. Oh my gosh, he is going Drop Lord. All right, so he's going to send some Lings on out. They should have speed here in just a few seconds. Going to try to get into that main base and do some damage. ShoWTimE spots it immediately, though. Sees what's going on. By spotting that early Evolution Chamber, he knew it was going to be a Drop Lord, and he was ready for it. So Mothership Core ready to go to throw down a Photon Overcharge as soon as anything pops on down here. I don't think Guru can drop here. I really don't. I mean, he might just try to break down the front door, which, nope, there's an Adept holding the line. So well placed. So impossible for these Lings to kill that Adept. And even a Phoenix comes out to chase the Drop Lord away. So Guru, unfortunately, just spent all of that energy and research time and money getting a Drop Lord that is now going to die. The Lings are just sitting outside the main base, uselessly, unfortunately for them. But however, Guru's doing okay. Yes, he got supply blocked. The income tab is 40 to 37, though definitely starting to get that lead, as Zerg players will do. If you leave them alone long enough and they know what they're doing, they'll be able to absolutely out-macro you if you just sit inside your base, which is why these Phoenix are coming out for ShoWTimE. So, Phoenix popping on out here. Good injects, as we can see here on all these bases from Guru. So darn important, getting +1 missile attack and 11 drones at the same time. Yikes, he's definitely going to go ahead and take a lead. However, there's no Spore Crawler here. I mean, Guru knew there were Phoenix out, did not get the Spore Crawler, lost a couple workers. There have been some discussions on my channel in the comments once or twice about whether you should get a Spore Crawler immediately upon knowing there's an Oracle or Phoenix out, or if you just wait. And people seem to believe you just want to wait, honestly. Get as much mining as you can from the worker who is making this Spore Crawler instead of doing it right away and losing it for the whole time, which I can understand, but I would just prefer to have that defense and not have this happen at all. Look at this. So many drones going down. 3 queens here, enough to actually chase away these 3 Phoenix. This queen all by her lonesome, though. No Spore Crawler whatsoever. The Phoenix might be able to pick her up, but no. They decide to pop on out, swing down, possibly down to the 3rd base. Quick lag complaint from Guru, but then we're back in it again. It's always so fun to see these instant pauses that probably lasted for, 30 seconds, 45 seconds that just go by in a blink of an eye in the replay. Lings running around here. Guru being pretty darn aggressive. This 3rd base is being established by ShoWTimE, but nothing's here defending it yet except for these 3 Adepts. The Lings trying to get that full surround. Photon overcharge coming up too, and the Lings say, nope, that's enough of that. We're going to try to get inside the main base, but again, great positioning by that Adept, and the Lings are forced to back on out. So ShoWTimE's doing a good job being aggressive, but also defending very, very well. I don't think he's lost anything to this point. Has he? Took a look at the units lost. 25 resources lost. I'm sure that was just the canceled pylon, though. So yeah, 5 minutes into the game, and he's absolutely killing it as far as I am concerned. It's 58 to 54 Harvesters. ShoWTimE is keeping up, despite the fact the Zerg player can make 10 workers at a time if he so chooses. Spore Crawler up here getting some shots off, losing some drones anyway, though. ShoWTimE trying to find a nice spot to avoid that Spore Crawler, and does! Finds it a nice angle here, just absolutely tearing through that worker line, and then is moving out, not overstaying his welcome, finding another place to attack while that queen fruitlessly tries to go up the ramp and find them. I think he probably could have picked off a few more there if he wanted to, but instead he backs on out. Not worth losing anything over. These Lings still running around. That base is going to finish, so again, Guru's going to be okay as far as his economy goes. In production, there is an Observer. We have double Immortals being pumped right now from ShoWTimE. He's getting Zealot legs and +1 ground attack. Guru is really investing heavily into this Roach Ravager Hydra Lurker type composition, going for +2 here on missile attacks and muscular augments for his Hydras. Yep, the Phoenix do find the spot. They decide to come back in after all. Might actually just kill this queen, but no, just taking shots instead. Just scouting. I feel like these Phoenix are not here to win the game, as they usually aren't. They're just here to scout and see exactly what tech structures exist inside the main base. Did see the 2nd evolution chamber, and I'm pretty sure, where is that Hydra den actually? That's a 2nd hatch. I am so blind when it comes to these things. No, all right. I know there's one somewhere. Where are you, muscular augments? Oh, right here. Okay. Odd place for it, kind of in between bases, but anyway, Lings are trying to knock down this pylon. Not going to happen. The entire army shows up to shoot them away. Lings, not enough Lings. Lings are a good composition here with these sentries and these immortals, but there just aren't enough of them, and they all end up getting killed anyway due to great force field placement by ShoWTimE, as is tradition. Phoenix still sitting here, finding a nice, sweet, open spot. How many workers has ShoWTimE killed? 16 thus far. Has he lost literally anything? No. No units killed by Guru at all to this point in the game, which is insane. It's 77 to 65 Harvesters. Guru definitely in the lead that way. Has been macroing pretty hard for a while, but now Hydras are on the way, 9 at a time for Guru, getting Carapace level 1 to be mixed in with his missile attack level 1, which is complete here. Sniping down some creep tumors is ShoWTimE. And then just backing out, just making sure the creep spread isn't too insane. And the recall, yes, the recall saves everything. Not a single sentry died there. Just killed a couple creep tumors and then went home. No big deal. ShoWTimE is patient. ShoWTimE is getting a 4th base as well. Creep spread continuing for Guru. APM for these players is off the charts, around 280, 290, 300 at times here. These guys are playing dead fast. Hydra's really trying to snipe down these Phoenix, but they have to be careful. There's only a couple Hydras. The Phoenix do extra damage against light units, as we can see here. 10 damage versus light. Attack speed of 0.79, which is so fast. They actually do very well against Hydras, as long as the Hydras don't outnumber them, is generally how I feel that goes. Infestation Pit being constructed by Guru. More Hydras, more Lings, and +1 melee attack on the way, which always leads me to believe the Zerg player is going for Ultras at some point. We'll see if that works out. Ultras aren't quite as good against Protoss as they are against Terran. Although I say they're good against Terran, and man, if the Terran has ghosts, they are sort of useless, the Ultras would be. So maybe that's not a good comparison after all. Getting a Baneling Nest is Guru. This is the 2nd Baneling Nest we've seen against Protoss and just recently now, so I'm not sure what that's all about. But here comes a push with Zealots, with Archons, Immortals, and Sentries, and Adepts. Pushing right on in, and yes, they do lift a queen there, and here come so many Lings. They don't want to be there first, though. The Lings trying to wrap around and kill some of these Zealots here. Hydra sniping everything from long distance. All the queens getting absolutely picked up, lifted, and killed there. Good force fields, keeping this army alive. That's a lot of Lings and Hydras that are trapped. ShoWTimE desperately getting off the creep here, trying to cover his retreat with more of those force fields, and one Immortal does get sniped off here. Pushing his advantage is Guru, 176 to 149 total supply. The Lings on top of everything right now. The Hydras sniping down yet another Immortal there and just continuing to run. This Archon is very low on health. 11 kills on that guy, though. I think that has to be a lot of Zerglings, if you had to ask my opinion. Another base up here for Guru. That's his 5th base. But again, ShoWTimE's on his 4th, so he's not exactly being greedy. He's just trying to keep up. Hive on the way for Guru as well. +3 rather, ground weapons being researched by ShoWTimE and continuing that Immortal production, despite the fact there are a lot of Lings and Hydras on the field, and Immortals don't do very well against either of those things. So lifting up some more workers here, killing the workers on the gas. Once again, if Guru is paying attention, he will replace these immediately, but it seems like maybe his attention happens to be elsewhere. He's going to go for a Baneling attack on this base. A lot of Zealots getting warped on. I'm not sure if that's the right choice when dealing with Banelings. Did he replace them yet? Hasn't replaced them yet. Guru, where's your attention, man? Where is it here? Single Zealot chasing these Queens on home, and here come the Banelings. They're slow Banelings. Oh, and splitting the Zealots and killing the cannon, though. Oh, taking out a few Zealots there as well. Another push along this right side. A lot of Hydras coming on in. The Zealots sniping down every single one of those Lings, as they are so darn good against Lings with these upgrades. That +2 attack, very, very good indeed. And no real follow-up to this attack. I thought for sure maybe there was a Ling swell coming on in here, but 46 Lings in production. Centrifugal Hooks on the way too. And is this a Warp Prism? This is a Warp Prism that really hasn't done anything to this point, so I'm not sure what ShoWTimE is planning on doing with it, but right now it's sitting over land and can be destroyed pretty easily if Guru manages to see that it's there. Another complaint about lag here. Quick pause. Hopefully it was fixed for Guru. I know how annoying that is to play with the lag. And yeah, here come the Lings right on top of here before the cannons pop. The Zealots are all now completely gone, and nope, popping out the... Oh, the cannons finished just in time. With the double photon overcharge, it's enough for ShoWTimE to hang on to his own 4th base. Finally, the Warp Prism gets used. Warping in a whole ton of Zealots here, going right for the Evolution Chamber to stop those upgrades. This is actually +2 melee attack, which is pretty darn useful as more Banelings come on in, and they do kill a ton of the cannons. And the Evolution Chamber absolutely falls there. Can they kill this Queen? Nope. Lings are starting to move on in here too. Lings and Queens pretty darn good against Zealots, with the Queen stabbing away from long distance. Lings coming in here again. Banelings trying to find angles, trying to do what they can, then backing on out. Guru not throwing away his units unnecessarily, as all great StarCraft 2 players try not to do, and manages to get out of there. So, I mean, both players are maxed out. Army supply is 111 to 128. Worker supply is heavier for Guru at 79 to 64. Phoenix continuing to just pick up some workers and just taking shots. A lot of these guys are injured, but none of them have died so far. I think that's the original 5 to this point. Warp Prism, once again, trying to go for round 2, but these Queens do not want that to happen. Are not going to allow it at all. Banelings again crushing in, killing all the cannons right in this area. There are still 2 back here, which is nice for ShoWTimE. Also, the Archons can absorb quite a bit of damage without taking extra damage from the Banelings themselves. So many workers dead. 31 workers killed by ShoWTimE at this point. This base has been absolutely rocked pretty much the entire game. Hydra Ling seems to be where Guru wants to go. Hydra Ling, Baneling, anyway. And here he is, sniping down those Archons. Archons want nothing to do with Hydralisks. So many Immortals are here, though. Amazing concave on these Hydras. +2 now. Great splits. The Banelings trying to crash on something. Amazing force fields trapping a lot of these Banelings here. The Banelings really there for the Zealots, and they do clean them out fairly easily, too. Another Archon does get killed, and it's enough to make Guru back on out. Phoenix still flying around. Is he going to come back in for round 2? No, Guru is not actually going for Lurkers at all. It's just going to be Hydra Baneling with some Lings mixed in against this composition. And ShoWTimE, I don't know if he'd be better served to get some Colossus here, but I mean, Colossus are pretty bad. Double Stargate and a Fleet Beacon transition right now from ShoWTimE, as well as getting Storm. So he knows Storm is very good against low HP units, which these Hydralisks are. Another warp in here of Zealots and DTs immediately taking down the Spore Crawler, so these DTs can work in secrecy. And there they go, going after the Evolution Chamber again. It's not actively working on anything, but instead turning their attention to these Lings, and then the Lings backing on out, recognizing, okay, there are DTs here. I can hear them. I can see them. Or see the shimmer, but I can't actually attack them. There we go. Overseer shows up. They die immediately. And that's it. Zealots sitting on the creep, trying to clear some creep tumors with the Observer assist here. Excellent decision. This is kind of like Marine hit squads that just run around and try to kill these creep tumors. Up here, we have more DTs walking on in. Extra spine. Oh, the spine crawlers are not there yet. Extra defense would have been so nice. This base is now essentially forfeit. The Phoenix are picking up these workers that have abandoned this 4th base because it's under assault. Lings trying to kill stuff. Is the Overseer in range so they can see them? Now they are. Now they are visible, and they will get cleaned up. Once again, DTs are scary unless you can see them, at which point they die pretty darn quickly. So that's kind of the trade-off. Observer still spotting these creep tumors, waiting for somebody to come and please try to kill them. Keep this creep spread away from the base. Look how close this creep is. Did get cleared out by ShoWTimE just a little bit there. Here comes a huge Ling run by, though, from Guru. Right on top of everything, knocking down pylons, being killed by DTs. The army comes up to clear them out. Can they get inside the main base? No, a DT is holding the wall. Excellent decision there, as there is not an overseer with this army. Trying to sneak around the backside, though, is Guru. Trying to get around there. Another Warp Prism attack. There's a Spore Crawler getting shots off. It does pull out. And once again, just trying to snipe things off. Big Storm coming in and actually going Tempest is ShoWTimE. I find that a little bit surprising. Tempest against Hydra does not seem like a great decision, but meanwhile, Lings once again right on in here. Tempest very bad against Lings. Trying to kill a ton of probes of his own, but can't quite pull it off. Is this Warp Prism actually doing stuff? Kind of repositioned itself and then didn't do anything after that. The whole army is coming back home to deal with this single solitary Warp Prism that's just going to run away. ShoWTimE does not, or rather, Guru does not have a Spire. Can't do anything to deal with it, so is just kind of forced to let it sit back there and come back in whenever it wants. ShoWTimE's getting +2 armor right now, +3 missile attack, and +2 melee attack being researched by Guru. DT coming right on in, actually sniping a single Zergling down there. The Lings are trying to get inside here, but again, there's a DT. There's so much defense right there. Not a good look at all for these Lings. Is there an Overseer anywhere nearby? Perhaps Banelings will try to Baneling bust the front door. I don't know. 71 to 66 Harvesters. It seems like ShoWTimE is happy with about 60, 65 workers or so. Not planning on doing anything more than that. Whoa! Storms on the Banelings, though. None of them connect. Storms on the Lings, too. Take out a ton of them. They get an Archon, but a lot of them end up dying as well. What a play by ShoWTimE. Great use of Storm right there. Those Banelings didn't get anywhere near where they wanted to attack before they were taken out. Guru trying to just do little isolated attacks. I guess he doesn't feel comfortable going for a big head-on attack, which I don't necessarily blame him for, especially now that he knows that there is Storm out. Another Warpin, just a Zealot and a DT, no big deal. Transfuse, trying to keep that Evolution Chamber alive. Oh, both the units get picked up, though. The Warp Prism not going to leave anybody to their deaths today. Here comes a push at an attempted base by Guru. Does end up exploding in a big gout of blood. Going to reestablish that base over here, though, and this one is up and running. However, a single Spine Crawler not necessarily enough to hang on here. So the Lings actually just going for a base race right now. Guru says, fine, you want to kill this base? I'm going to come in and kill your tech structures and your production structures here, too. Everybody rocking right on in. The Overseer count is very high. Photon Overcharge coming up. Banelings crashing in on workers as well. And yeah, ShoWTimE just going for the base race. No, he does send some units home to try to deal with this. Losing both of these robotics facilities might be bad news. Ultralisk Cavern on the way for Guru in the meanwhile. Just trying to break down this front door. Small piece of the army. Everybody's actually coming back now. Lings trying to hold this off as best as they can. And yes, here it is. Hydras getting the Cybernetics Core, getting that gateway. Do they want to be trapped is the question, though. I don't know. It's 188 to 164 total supply. They're going inside the main base now. Losing all these gateways would be a big problem for ShoWTimE. Tempest trying to snipe things down from long distance. They don't do any damage, hardly at all, to these units. And coming up this ramp for ShoWTimE is such a bad news. All right, so Hydras are laying waste to ShoWTimE's base here. The army is mostly impotent at the bottom of the ramp here. Nice Storm, though. Wow, blanketing all of those Hydras. So many gateways are being destroyed, however. The Hydras are just here now at this point to snipe down as any important tech structures that they can find. And now standing on in, sniping down the Archons very quickly. Look how fast those Archons evaporate. But all the Hydras are gone too. That guy manages to survive with 25 hit points on his shield. Another attack over here. Lings knocking down some cannons as their upgrades are getting to the point where they're pretty scary against cannons. But again, the Zealots themselves have that +3 and +2 armor combination. That is so good. Tempest being used, trying to clear out these Zerglings. Up to 3 kills now before he gets exploded. Phoenix flying around doing their thing. Looks like they lost one of their buddies, but ShoWTimE's not going to replace that. It's 123 to 136 total supply. Both players have taken their lumps. I don't know how many gateways. There are 4 gateways left for ShoWTimE and 3 Stargates, and that's all that he has for unit-producing structures. So he needs to replace those immediately, and he's really not. I mean, he's making a new Nexus here. He's replanting this base. Not much gas left, not many minerals left. I'm not sure why he's doing that one. Another attempt to drop down here is thwarted by some Spine Crawlers. Queen's continuing to chase this Warp Prism around that has taken a lot of damage, but is not dead yet. 7 hit points remaining on that guy. Once again, another attempt of Lings on top of this stuff. The Zealots and the Archon hanging on. 13 kills on that guy. Looking great. Guru going for a Lurker Den and a Greater Spire because at this point, why not? Might as well get all the tier 3 units that your little Zergy brain can handle. Expanding over here is ShoWTimE, and yeah, there's that double expand that we can see. So both players, a bit of a tenuous position here. I feel like ShoWTimE might be in a worse position though. Here come the Hydras again. Can they snipe down these? I don't know. They're trying to get the Phoenix actually. They're killing their friends. Get one of them. Get one of them off. Oh, and a Tempest does take down one of the Hydras there. Baneling tries to crash on in, but nope. These guys are absolutely not going to be able to survive. These 3 Hydras, though, still doing it, trying to depower a lot of stuff. Wow, depowering 3 Stargates and the Fleet Beacon there. Absolutely solid play by Guru, but he's down 105 to 140 total supply. Is he just having a hard time with money right now? I don't know. Gonna force a cancel on this Nexus, I think. Way too many links here. The army is not close enough to save it, and there's the cancel. Pylon dies too. The Lings need to go home is what they need to do. Not going to stand on in. Not going to do anything else. Guru is going for Broodlord, and I just don't know. There are already Tempest out, Guru. Why would you go for Broodlord? Tempest were made to counter Broodlord. See these guys right here? They do extra damage. Let's see here. Targets air versus massive. 44 damage. 44 versus air massive. Another attempt at attack here of Zealots. Getting cleaned up by some Lings pretty darn easily. DT getting taken down too. This base, however, is exploded. Just newly cleaned out by ShoWTimE. Another Ling run by here from Guru. Does get spotted and chased away. Can they get, I mean, I guess getting inside the main base would not be bad right now. Do they have Adrenal Glands upgrade? They do. So here they come now. Just trying to take down the Stargates that are not actually powering anything. A Warping of Zealots is enough to hold them off, I think. And it is, especially with that +3 attack. Just, man, so good. So good against those Lings that don't have quite as good the upgrades. Not quite as good, but not terrible either. So we have Broodlords coming up for Guru. It's 91 to 135 total supply. Bunch of Changelings getting tossed down because the Overseers have energy, so why the heck wouldn't you do that? Big attack here on another base. Guru has lost so many bases throughout this game. Transferring drones trying to run for their lives, and they do manage to get out of there. This one, though, not quite so lucky. Again, just pushing in 141 to 92 total supply. Guru really doing it well. Again, trying to do some Zealots over on this side of the map. Not gonna happen though. Once again, too many Queens, too many Hydras, too many Lings. A Ling run by attempting to do stuff, picking off a single probe. 36 workers killed by Guru, 86 killed by ShoWTimE. It's 29 to 38 workers. Guru is down to 29 Harvesters. I did not see that happening. I mean, yeah, I know a lot of workers have died, but apparently it's most of them. So establishing this base, this base is ShoWTimE. Having killed this one, so Guru has how many mining bases? Essentially this one. This is it. This is mined out. This is mined out. This is mined out. This is mined out. He's tried to take this. Did not happen. He's tried to take this. Did not happen. Zealot making sure this doesn't get replanted. And ShoWTimE just showing his patience. Destroying so many workers. Lings inside his main base. He doesn't care. He has Photon Overcharge. Enough to take these guys out. Upgrades on the Lings are now +3/+2. Has not quite gone for that +3 melee attack yet, which I don't quite understand, but that's okay. Killing this pylon actually depowers these gateways too. So, I mean, as far as powered stuff that ShoWTimE has is, I think it's 3 gateways. And that's it. He has 3 gateways right now, but he has the bigger army. As we can see here, army supply is 52 to 100. Worker supply starting to creep back up here for Guru. It's now 30 to 38, but he's still down pretty big time. And 30 workers at this stage in the game, 23 minutes into the game, is not a good feeling at all. Guru trying to do what he can on his last legs, though. I think ShoWTimE, once again, just methodical. Just great decision-making. A pause here by ShoWTimE, which is then ended at Guru's permission. Warp Prism here has just been doing stuff all day. I don't know why ShoWTimE doesn't take this thing out. You have a Spire, make some Corruptors, you don't turn into Broodlords, and just come wipe it out here. The Hydras might actually get it, and goodbye. Yep. Warp Prism has done its job well, but it's now time to go back to the afterlife. Another pause. What is going on with this lag? The players are complaining about it like crazy. I can't believe it. I've never seen this many pauses in a game in StarCraft 2. I really haven't. Okay, so how many bases does ShoWTimE have? This one's mining. Is that it? Are these players effectively down to 1 mining base right now? Oh, actually, Guru has these 2. So income tab does show that advantage in mineral count coming in. for Guru. He is caught up in worker count, 38 to 30 now, 41 to 38 here. Just being aggressive with Ling, sniping down pylons, trying to kill some workers here. The army's showing up, though. Photon overcharge ready to go. This mothership core has been absolutely reading Guru's mind as the Ling's actually starting to devastate these probes fairly easily. Good micro on display here by Guru. Eventually, they're all going to die, but man, that's a lot of dead probes there, too. 51 probes killed now by Guru. Not quite as many as he's lost, but still not bad. Another base on the way. Can Guru crawl his way back here? Scratch and claw and crawl his way back here. We'll have to see. It is still 139 to 106 total supply. Are Broodlords going to be the answer? Once again, I don't have the faith because there are Tempest. They don't have any upgrades, which is a bit of a problem, but still, there are Tempest. And ShoWTimE has still not bothered to repower these buildings. He repowered his gateways, but he might just be done with Tempest at this point, which is, I mean, a little bit insane. Another probe ends up falling. These Lings trying to keep themselves alive as long as possible. They're not suiciding themselves into Archons too badly. I guess that one did. But really, only the one. Another pause here by ShoWTimE. This game, man. Guru once again gives us permission to go for another Ling run by here from Guru. Moving right on in. There's an Archon. The Archon and Zealot combination is pretty darn devastating to these Lings. 56 Lings on the way. Guru's trying to win this thing with sheer Ling and some Broodlords. I don't know if it's going to work at all. Pushing on up to kill another hatchery. Bam, takes it on down. Broodlings from the sky, though. ShoWTimE did not know those were there, I don't think. I don't think he knew about those. Where is that Greater Spire? There it is. Let's see if ShoWTimE is aware of it. No, ShoWTimE didn't know about it, but he knows about it now. Lings trying to get some more of these probes. Does not want to directly engage with the Zealots at all. Pushing on up, just dancing back and forth here. The Tempests are being used now to snipe down. They're sniping down a Queen. The Hydra is trying to kill everything, but the Storms, when they get too close, two of them die immediately from that. Broodlings being thrown down, and can they take down an Archon? They get an Archon there, but the Tempest and the Phoenix trying to take down the Broodlords. Good transfuse, keeping them alive for the time being. Broodlord Queen here. Broodlord Queen Ling, an interesting strategy. Am I zoomed out as far as I can go? Yes. The answer is yes. Another attempted attack here with some Lings gets completely annihilated. Alright, so right now the units tab shows we have 102 Lings, 5 Hydras, and 4 Broodlords for Guru with 5 Queens. Versus 4 Archons, 15 Zealots, 3 Tempests, 9 Immortal. That might actually be the big thing right now. 9 Immortals might be enough to do it. Even with this number of, well, I don't know, this number of Lings. Big, here we go. The big Ling attack we've been waiting for. Absolutely laying waste to this base. Going to get the Templar Archives, going to get the Twilight Council. Look at these Lings go, being so cost effective here. Trying to take down some of these here gateways. A big attack on up here too. The Immortals just crushing everything on the ground. Feedback being used on the Queens. The Queens are down to 0 now. Nope, there's one. There's one up top. Now the Broodlords are left alone for the Tempest to absolutely just mercilessly decimate them. The Queen trying to stab away gets destroyed by the Immortals there too. It's now 73 to 101 total supply. These Lings still alive, but not for long, as the Zealots clean them out. Broodlord absolutely gone. Immortals being the difference makers here, taking down yet another hatch. Can they kill this final mining base for Guru? What is here to defend against it? Some Hydras, some drones, and here he goes. Drones leading the charge. Storm on the drones, though. Oh, no. Storm on the drones. Where are these Templar? I don't even know. I can't see them. There they are, right in the middle of everything. Broodlings and drones and Hydras from the backside trying to snipe down everything that they can here. Charge lots right on top of the Hydras too. There's not enough. The lots are on top of everything. Not even microing the Hydra anymore at this point. Trying to snipe everything down. No, ShoWTimE wins that battle quite handily. And there's the GG. GG from Guru. Guru is defeated. ShoWTimE is victorious. Wow, that was a slog. What an absolutely wonderful game played by ShoWTimE. Again, the patience, the decision-making, the harassment. Yes, he killed 125 workers. I think about 40 of those were in this last little bit here. But still killed 86 when the game was still ongoing. Really did not allow Guru to do much of anything as far as he wanted to do with the attacks and with the macro and just getting huge armies. Guru, I don't know, the Banelings were a great idea. Yes, the Banelings took out some cannons. Yes, the Banelings killed some workers. But overall, I don't know that they did as much damage as Guru needed them to do to be cost effective. In the end, ShoWTimE, I just think, was more cost effective in the engagements. He made his Zealots last longer. His Immortals, once again, were a big turning point here. 43 kills on that Immortal. 37, 36, 37, 42, 32, 40, 20. This is probably the most accomplished group of Immortals I have ever seen. Look at these guys go. Nobody has fewer than... Okay, this guy has 29. But nobody has fewer than 29 kills in this huge group of Immortals. That's insane. This Archon has 40 kills too. High Templar has 5, which is not bad. 20 kills on a Tempest. Not something you see every day of the week. So Guru, again, going for Broodlords, I think was a mistake. But what else could he have done? I mean, Ultras weren't really an option just because the Immortals were on the ground. The Lings were countered pretty heavily by the Storm and the Archons and the Zealots. So maybe Lurkers would have been not a bad idea. I don't know. Interesting decisions to be made for sure. But I'm not the one who's making them. So that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.